Hey John, nice series. I appreciate that you posted so many. It's good. Um, so two are very similar, this one, and of the two, I think I prefer this one. There's a better balance where the focal point is more centered and um, balanced by these sides here. Um being the sharp focal point, I'd like to bring up some light here. So here I've pasted into Photoshop and grab the lasso tool and lasso this area here. I've already done it. Let me Control H to show you that it's there. And it's feathered. So then I go into levels and dial up the highlight here. I'm going to stop short right here where this is starting to get bright and say OK to that, and then deselect and then reselect again right through here. All this stuff. Okay, and feather that. Select and mask, feather it up, hit OK. Control H to hide it, Control L, and dial up the highlights again. Turn on the light. If this starts to look a little faded out here, that's just a matter of tighten up the midtones and the blacks, so I can dial up the black a little more, bring up the white a little more, bring over the midtone a little bit. So this is raising the contrast here. See that? Seeing a little yellow creep in, so we can desaturate that. So Control U is a shortcut, and I'm dialing back the saturation to take that yellow out of there. Okay. It might be a little much here, but not so bad. You see the before and after here. Okay, so next, this one. Okay, and one thing to pay close attention to, this is good, I like the bridge light colored like that, and the way this focal point is here. And one of the more critical things in macro work is to make sure it's sharp, and it's not quite sharp here. Almost sharp, but not quite. So focusing is a lot trickier when you're in close, because a movement of a 1/4 inch either way as you're about to press the shutter can throw it out of focus. It could be possibly camera shake. Without seeing the aperture and shutter settings, I can't tell. But this is sharper. Notice that it goes from out of focus and gets sharp through here. So a good thing to do is to emphasize, whoops, let me go back to that. Emphasize this area by maybe doing a little selection and tweaking up the light just a smidge. And I like just a smidge, nothing much. I like the way this falls off, and this point of view looking straight down the neck is pretty cool. Again, careful about what's in focus. You see your focus is back here. Nice shooting, nice framing. I love the light right here on the Martin tag inside the guitar. But this E string being so prominent, I probably would have made that sharp. And let it fall off back here more out of focus. So that's a decision you constantly have to make. You know, where's the focal point, what's sharp, what isn't, and how to make it sharp. And I'd also darken back here on the right. A little blue, and I like the patina all over this outdoor statue. Very much. So it's getting a little lost with the light background, so I'm so glad you moved in and started looking at some of these details. So this is pretty cool. With the hand, it probably would have cropped off this right side even more. So this is cool that you're in here. Now, again, same issue. Where's the focal point? Usually it's the eye, so be careful about what's sharp. Notice that it's couple of inches behind there, down here on the far shoulder. This light area, again is distracting compared to what's going on in here. Another handy little trick could be, if you're going to shoot macro, is to bring along a little dark piece of cardboard, matte board, the back of a black t-shirt, anything dark that you could just hang out with one hand out behind your subject, because you're in so close. It's only a matter of a couple of inches that you need to darken, and that can go a long way to improving this. So I can tell that there's a bug in here, and this is the focal point. It's pretty good. I like the out of focusness. Probably I would have gotten in a little closer on that. The crystals, again, it's sharp back here. Where's the focal point? Probably I would have focused more in the foreground with these bigger crystals. Same here. Focus in here more, and see how it's sharp back there. And of the two of your dog, notice how bright it is on the outer edges here. So I prefer this crop. Again, I would have brought a little more light in here. So good shooting overall. Editing is pretty good with a few tweaks, but mostly pay attention to where's the focal point and where is it sharp, and bringing those two together. I'm going to do a quick edit on this, so let me copy an image, bring in Photoshop, File New, and Clipboard, Create, and Edit Paste, and Layer Flatten. So this bright stuff is a major detriment, so I'm going to just crop it, bring it right into here. What's kind of interesting too is the hand, but I think I'm going to need to leave it at that. And if I take the oval marquee and I click Alt and click and drag like this, I'm creating this vignette. I just centered it. I'm going to feather it back somewhat like that, and hide it, Control H. I'm going to levels it, Control L, and I'm going to raise the contrast a little bit by bringing in my shadow, my highlight, like that. I'm going to raise the saturation, Control U, and that'll make the colors pop a little bit more, just like that. And I'm going to inverse the selection, so Shift Control I is a shortcut, or select inverse, and then hide it again, Control H, and with levels I'm going to darken it up just like that. Bring my shadows and my sliders to the right here, my midtone, my shadow. So notice how much more expressive this is than where it started out. Here's the history where we pasted it. It's a totally different image. See that? From that to that. Last thing that is a nice touch on textured things like this is to sharpen it. So we go Filter, Sharpen, Smart Sharpen. And as you dial around, we find that focal point. Let me zoom out a little bit. Just probably right here. And you can play with the amount. Smart Sharpen gives you these sliders, but radius of 1 pixel, 200% seems to work well for stone and these kinds of textures, any kind of rust and so on. So the ambiguity is really cool with the hand and this green and the patina and the flaking stone and the light that's gathering in here and the lines. This is good. I really like this. Okay, see you on the blog.